My life used to be nothing but a glowing screen inside of my dark room. I had no friends, nothing exciting going on. And when I was around people, I felt like I had nothing to say. It wasn't until I realized that it wasn't how I was, but rather how I was living, that my confidence started to change. And in this video, I'm going to show you the traps keeping you shy and how you can change them. The very first thing that changed my life was exposing myself to new situations. It was in November about 8 years ago. I was trying to improve my life, so I decided that I would pack up my clothes, pick up my energy, which it took a lot of because I was addicted to video games. Decided that I would go into a park where a lot of people are. And I did. You can imagine the scenery. The sun was shining and it was a beautiful park. There's also a pond in the middle, and it happened to be frozen. While I was walking towards the pond, I happened to realize that there are actually people on top of the pond. It happened to be frozen. So I decided to do the same thing. I picked up my courage. My brain was going wild, thinking that all things are going to go wrong. I'm going to fall over and I'm going to be laughed at, and people are going to remember that forever. No matter what, I went on top of it, and it happened to be the most beautiful time ever. And the worst that I feared actually happened. I fell over onto my butt, and truth is, nothing went as bad as I ever thought it was because nobody laughed at me. People were actually worried if I was okay, and I happened to make some friends. The first tip that I'm trying to give you with this story is that you need to simply go out to actually have some experiences to be able to tell people. This is not only going to make you more exciting as a person towards others, but it's also going to help you to finally start to gather up your courage and confidence. You don't need to do anything crazy. The story I told you was me deciding to go for a simple walk. When you go out for a walk, all kinds of things can happen to you, unlike inside of your room. What kind of stories was I supposed to tell when I was inside of my room 24/7 playing video games? The only thing that happened was that I reached top 500 in Overwatch, which, truth is, nobody cared. It wasn't a story that anyone was excited about, nor was I really excited about it because I felt like it's something embarrassing to just be able to waste so much time in front of my computer. I wanted to do better. And it's really not that difficult. Going out for a walk already exposes you to see all kinds of things and have different kind of things happen to you. You're also going to give your brain a chance to recover and just be much more relaxed. This is so much better than being in front of your computer, overstimulating to yourself and having what is, sorry, but an extremely boring life. Simply go out and you will be exposed to situations that will improve your confidence because fun stories will get the reactions you need in order to feel more confident. By the way, normally I don't do this for free, but I want to help a handful of men break out of these cycles and build their confidence. So I've opened up 5 free coaching spots this year. Top link in the description below. The second tip I want to give you is that you need to take action no matter what you feel. Look, I know how it feels. It feels horrendous to go out and expose yourself to new situations, especially when you're stuck in front of your computer, just being lonely and not exposed to social situations very often. I know how that feels. I've been there for years. However, taking action, even though you feel that way, is the key essence for you to finally start to change, build up some confidence in the life you want. It wasn't until I decided that I will go out and have a walk, even though didn't feel like it. It wasn't until I decided that I will go onto that pond with the risk of others laughing at me. Confidence is not about getting rid of these feelings. Even at my state now, I feel so much more confident. I've exposed myself to so many situations, thousands of them, where I will feel uncomfortable thinking about them. Confidence is about you acting even though you do not feel like it's going to work out. It's trusting yourself that even when things go wrong, you're going to be okay. These feelings, they don't go away. I still feel them. However, they don't feel as impactful anymore. They don't have an influence on me as much anymore. And this is the same for you. If you just go out, expose yourself to new situations, take action, even though you feel these things. It's basically like exposure therapy. Once you get used to those things, it's nothing crazy anymore. It's like daily life. All of this boils down to the third tip, which is that you need to have self belief. When I used to go into a room full of people, my brain would come up with all kinds of weird ideas that I'm going to trip or everyone is going to look at me as if I was the center of the universe and I'm somehow going to do something that is absolutely embarrassing. And I was feeling that fuzzy feeling inside of my chest, thinking that all kinds of things are going to go wrong and it's going to be the worst thing that ever happens. Truth is, none of this ever came to fruition. None of this ever happened. It was just complete bull that my mind made up. Even when something did go quote unquote go wrong, it was never as bad as my brain made it up to be. People were always understanding, and most people actually relate because we've all been in these situations where you feel awkward or something happens to you. Truth is, most people aren't jerks. They understand how you feel and they are compassionate, more so than you think. Your brain is lying to you, and all of this comes from having negative self beliefs. Wherever it's rooted from, these beliefs make you think that all kinds of things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. You need to go away from these thoughts. You need to actually go ahead and somewhat fight these thoughts. Go and take action either way, like I said before. If you're wondering why you have these negative beliefs, for me, they were rooted in childhood trauma. I had emotional neglect, which gave me these negative beliefs that whatever I do is wrong and it's going to go wrong. All of these made me have zero confidence, basically. It wasn't until I started to believe in myself a few times that I realized I can change, and so can you. When you're still shy, you start to believe that confidence is something that it isn't. And I want to tell you what these are. Confidence isn't about being fearless or emotionless, it's about acting even though you have those emotions. It isn't about being super duper confident and knowing that everything will go right. It's about trusting yourself that even though things go wrong, you will be there and you will be fine with yourself. You will handle the situation, no matter how it turns out. Confidence is also no miracle. It's not going to make your life problem free. However, it's going to improve the quality of your problems and life by a lot. It wasn't until I learned four major lessons that actually made my life go from shy and lonely to being confident. So you should definitely check out those lessons in this video right here.